Hi, I'm Christy. Today I want to talk to you about frustration and futility in applying. So as promised, here's an update on my progress in completing the final steps in obtaining supports and accounts in AJ's name. Okay, I have to admit it, I procrastinated on this way too long. Now on the other hand, because of this series, I actually started the process of applying for SSI for AJ. So I'm counting that a win. And I'm appreciating the accountability that I've put into place by starting this series. Now, I have to admit, I looked at the website a few weeks ago, and I even left the tab open on my computer to remind me that I needed to start the application process. And there it sat, pretty much ignored. Well, this past week, I kept reminding myself that I needed to start this application, and I kept putting it off, still. So, the night that I wrote the post, knowing that I had to write that post, I started the application, only to discover that I couldn't fill it out for AJ. He has to do it himself, or ask somebody that he trusts to help him complete it. So I waited for him to finish the project he was working on, and we started in. Now, since he knows his basic information, I was able to have him give it to me, and then I typed it in. I had to look up his social security number, but he was familiar with the concept, and he knew not to share it with anyone, which was his emphasis, not mine. Now, once we entered the information, I clicked to confirm and open his account, only to get a "we cannot verify your identification. Please try again," or something to that effect. And I confirmed the information and tried again. And again. And promptly was locked out for 24 hours because they couldn't confirm his identity. So I was given the option to confirm his identity through ID.me. I decided to try it that way. And this site was then declined me multiple times. Again. I finally quit and saved the file to UnID.me so that I can provide additional documentation and meet with one of their trusted representatives online. I was too frustrated at that point, not dealing with it. I figured I'll figure something out later. So at that point, I had a headache, and I still had a blog post to write. Well, I promised you an update and a walk along my journey. I think I'm confirming all of my deepest fears about this process, or at least it's starting out that way. I do plan to contact one of AJ's account managers to see if she has any suggestions for me. All I can say is this is definitely not helping me have a positive experience in this applying process. I also wanted to say that the last series, and knowing that I needed to provide an update here, prompted me to look into several different living communities as possibilities for AJ. Now, while I still need to research them all some more, I definitely want to call and talk to someone at each of these locations, and I'm liking the possibility of a living community for AJ. If we can find the right community, I think this is going to be the best fit for him, giving him the independence he craves while providing the extra support that he needs to be successful. Now, one location is currently at the top of our list. I plan to contact them in the next week or two. If things still look promising, I'll probably see about getting him on the waiting list to get that process started. We already plan to visit there later this summer. Now, if any of the others appear promising as well, I'm likely to consider getting him on their waiting lists as well. We're going to have to see how that goes. I need more information before I can make that kind of a decision. Now, I have to admit, I'm encouraged that I currently have found 4 different living communities in 4 different states with leads on a 5th. The concept of a living community is new to me, but I'm happy to discover that they're becoming more popular. So my question for you this week is this. Are you making progress on something that you've been procrastinating on? I'd love to hear about your progress. You can leave me a comment below, or you can leave me a comment over on the blog. That's at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This originally posted the end of May of 2021. If you prefer, you can send me an email at Christy, Christy, at havenofhopeforme.com. I'm taking one more step along this path so that I can continue to say that life is good and there is never a dull moment.